Okay, let's get to Michelle. So, anyone who's been following the IF for a little while, one of the things that I'm so proud of is our board of directors. Our board of directors, we kind of got lucky in the beginning by having a couple of people that I was friends with join, and then the attitude of the board kind of stuck throughout the last 3 years. The way that we have it, like everyone's really invested in helping the mission and furthering the message. And we just added Michelle Ward to our, wow, that's a rhyme. We added Michelle Ward to our board. See what I did there? And Michelle, if you're saying, where do I know that face from? Because you've seen her on Discovery Channel on shows about psychopaths and stalkers and some, well, I mean, I'm going to say awesome stuff, but I meant like the show, not the bad people. I should probably clarify that. Boy, we're really starting off rough. I've already shanked the person. She talked about being topless and how I'm saying that psychopaths are awesome.
Yeah.
Chris, should we just like stop you now?
Done. Michelle, why don't you tell us about yourself so I don't do it and then say some dumb things?
No, my inappropriate comments, because I literally did just like change. So I didn't know it was like that was legit. That wasn't a. So I have spent my life studying predatory criminals, kind of understanding them from a biological perspective. You know, we all know about what trauma and bad environments and bad parents can do. But really, I have focused on, are we born this way? And if we are born this way, not us, but them, can we do anything about it? So I spent, an extraordinary number of years in academia researching this, got my PhD in neuroscience, studying the brains of murderers, and realized that there's a paucity of information getting out to the rest of the world. It stays in the ivory tower. It's very rare for the findings to make it to everybody else. So when I was approached to kind of talk about my findings on TV, I really jumped at it because I thought, heck, the more we know about this, the better we can perform to stop it. The more we know about what children look like when they're on their trajectory toward criminal behavior, predatory behavior, the more we know about, what works when nudging them away from it, the better we all are. So that's kind of been my goal. So I did 70 episodes of original content about predatory crime.
Wow, really? 70 episodes?
I thought that's why you liked me, no?
I do, but I didn't know it was that many. I've just been watching you for years and being a creeper, but
yeah.
I just was waiting for you to make a show about me being a stalker. I thought, how many times do I have to show up outside your window scratching before I get on a TV show?
There. Yeah. Yeah. So, stalking behavior is we got a lot of episodes about that. There are a lot of stalkers out there, and all of this behavior is predatory in nature. And viewers have a voracious appetite for true crime. So they're kind of getting their vegetables. They're getting their information with an addiction they already have. Everyone loves to, it's part fear, part excitement that we like to watch these true crime shows. So anyway, yeah, so I spent my life studying it, and now I'm able to kind of have a platform to try to get the information out there so that we can better, identify and stop predators.
So Michelle, you got a question came in the chat that is, what is the name of your present shows and what is the name of your past shows if people wanted to look it up?
Okay, so one is called Stalked, Someone's Watching. And I don't know where you can find that one right now. They do reruns all the time on ID, but we don't film it anymore. We did 58 episodes of that. And then we did a deeper dive show called The Mind of a Murderer, where I went into prisons and really tried to poke the bear and understand, because I know from a scientific perspective what the killers are thinking, what the criminals are thinking, but I wanted to get in the room with them being like, I get you. I study you. Now you're face to face with me, and I'm going to ask you some hard questions, and also kind of peel back the layers when they start lying about why they stalked and killed and raped and murdered people. So,
I mean, I want to talk about ILF but I think this is such an interesting thing. Like when you're with these people, do you ever get just deathly afraid? Like you're sitting with people that literally have no problem killing another person.
On occasion, I was more afraid when I was studying them in an academic setting because, we did do some studies on criminals who were never caught, murderers who were never caught. And so, and we would attract them by hiring them through temp agencies. So I'd be in the room in my young 20s with people who we had government immunity. So we didn't have to divulge when they would confess to us that they killed somebody or attempted to kill somebody. That was more frightening. In the prison setting, it is also frightening. The guard is there with me, but he's 120 pounds and he's not armed. They don't arm the guards because the prisoners can take away the weapon and use it. So I was afraid on 2 occasions. One, when we didn't know that the person who offered to hold our camera gear and walk with us was actually Matthew Cushing, the murderer we were about to interview, and he looked like a frat boy. And another time when a murderer who was schizophrenic was hearing voices to hurt me. So those were the 2 times that I felt, and there's
that's a little nerve wracking. I mean, I just gonna say that's a little nerve wracking. If you, your interview subject is hearing a voice that's telling him to hurt you.
Yeah, he actually had to exit the interview. He's like, it's time for me to go. He knew that about himself. He was medicated, but it didn't stop the voices completely. And so he's like, it's time for me to go. I was like, okay, bye-bye.
Wow.
But
yeah, that is.
It's scary, but it's worth it. It's worth it to spend the time in there and ask the right questions, or hope to ask the right questions, try to ask the right questions to try to get a better insight, because a good predator learns how to say the right words to exhibit emotion and empathy. They don't really feel it, but they learn the words, the music of the language. And so you have to kind of peel back those layers to try to get to the core of the person.
Interesting. That's fascinating. I mean, it's just a little nerve-wracking, but I guess it's a fascinating topic. And I guess I'm like a lot of other people that you're talking about, is I tend to watch those documentary shows that feature serial killers and really awful people. I don't know why I'm fascinated by it. It's a terrible topic.
It's a combination of, we want to understand these people are so abhorrent. They're so different from you and me. And we want to understand how it happened. And then there's the why. The people want to know why. What compelled you to do that? We've all been frustrated with our spouses or our friends or somebody at a bar, and you're just like, God, I want to punch this person. But we all have, prefrontal cortices cortices that are working, so we don't do it. A lot of these people have brain malformations.
So in your original study that you got your PhD on, did you find that people who can commit these crimes often have some kind of disease, some kind of mental deficiency?
Yeah, I was fascinated in psychopathy in particular because there are biological anomalies associated with psychopathy that we see in adult psychopaths. And specifically, they don't experience anticipatory fear like you and I do. So if you tell an adult psychopath, if you hook them up to all the psychophysiology machines and say, in 10 seconds, I'm going to shock you. And then you make them watch the screen and you count from 10, 9, 8, backwards down to 0. They don't, if they were to hook them up to us, our heart rate would increase, our respiration would change, our digestion would change, we'd begin to sweat. They do not. They don't get nervous. And so then therein lies the question, well, what came first? Your psychopathic behavior that made your body habituate to being nervous, and now you don't feel those somatic markers of being nervous? Or are you born without that fear, so you're able to go and commit these crimes? Well, the way we wanted to investigate that was to look at it in a population of psychopathic children before they had an opportunity to commit crime. So if we can measure psychopathy in kids and then go ahead and try to measure whether or not they experience anticipatory fear, we're onto something.
But is there a fix? Like, is there a way that you can say, to, like, if you know that's in a child, that you can somehow help them never become a bad person?
Actually, there are fixes. They're not perfect,
Really?
but we're working on them. So here's the thing. Psychopathic behavior, we all associate that with murderers. Predatory behavior is crime, but it's not. It's not always. You can nudge these people into different directions. I mean, most hedge fund managers, presidents of corporations, presidents of countries have some psychopathic tendencies. Psychopathy exists in about 1 out of every 100 of us. So diet and different like social nudges. You want to feed, this is crazy, but a lot of cold water fish to children who exhibit psychopathic behavior. Those omegas really do wonders for brain development. It's an amygdala problem, usually. They have underdeveloped or kind of deformed amygdalas, and that's the part of your body where you're gonna, if you can measure empathy, you're gonna find it in the amygdala. So, part of it's a malformation that can't be fixed or cured, but you can nudge and train them and put them meditation and just be aware of the problem and put them into goal-oriented tracks, because anybody with a psychopathic tendency is going to want to still be able to attain their goals. They're very goal-driven people, but it needs to be pro-social goals rather than anti-social goals. So rather than hunting down children, they hunt down a job or money or something else. They might still be committing crimes because they have no guilt or empathy, but at least the crime isn't against people.
So your knowledge is definitely going to come in handy in helping direct ILF, because, as an organization, one of the things that, we don't try to really understand from a psychological level why these people are committing crimes, just stop them. But having someone that maybe understands the thought process of people like that can most likely help us in determining where to look, how to look, to find people that may be preying on kids. I'd imagine that'd be a really good part of your expertise in helping the ILF in its direction.
Well, and that's a great opportunity to actually have real people that I can help, or who I can help kind of either track or predict behavior so that they can be apprehended or stopped. Again, doing research in an ivory tower in a vacuum, you rarely get to see it happen in real life. So that would be fantastic to be part of that.
So now I have probably the most serious question of the day. And I want you to think long and hard before you answer this, okay? Because the answer is just too serious.
I'm ready.
What are your feelings about pineapple on pizza?
Okay.
And you should have a gag reflex where it's making you want to vomit. I'm just asking, but I'm not trying to preload your thoughts, but.
Okay, don't be mad at me. I like it. My
little Michelle, I loved you.
It's acquired.
I loved you. I was a stalker. Now I can't.
Sorry. I have to be honest with you. I've acquired the taste.
But why?
Because my cute little kid loves it. And then, when you're a mom, you eat the food that they leave behind, and you got to take what's there.
Yeah, but as a mom, you should be teaching your children better ethics and morals in life. And pineapple pizza is against every Italian.
I'm sorry. Teach me, forgive me, and then teach me.
I will. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. The pineapple as a fruit is an amazing thing. I love it, but just not on pizza.
Are you drinking already, Chris?
I'm not. No, here's what's happened is that because I don't let this fool you. I'm actually Italian. I was raised in New York as an Italian. You go to Italy and you realize you can't pineapple on pizza. It's an insult. So I make fun of this all the time. I publicly shamed people who like pineapple pizza. So as a joke, someone on ILF said, hey, how much would it take for you to eat pineapple pizza? Not thinking, I said, hey, we're doing this thing on the 25th, $25,000. If you get $25,000 in donations. So then they said, if we get $25,000 in donations, we want you to make the pizza and eat it. So now it's kind of like, I have to make the implement of my own torture.
Ooh. So
they started promoting it, and they got a lot of big names to promote it. I mean, Neil Fallon tortured me with it. Everyone so now we have we've been doing this for 37 minutes, and we're at almost $6,500 in donations.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's because people want to see you eat this and vomit on.
I want to believe it's because that they want to help kids.
And
that's what I believe. I believe they want to help kids, but Shane seems to think it's more about people wanting to torture me.
I feel like you're not in your kitchen cooking right now.
I'm not. Now that's at noon.
Oh.
At noon, I'm cooking Thai food. So that's the other thing that happened. So this started off as a very small thing, and then it went into. So I used to be a chef back in the day before I was a hacker. Yeah. Oh. And I love cooking, but I just don't. I do it for fun now. And my wife's from Thailand, and we went to Thailand, and I went to a cooking school there, and learned from a master Thai chef how to make homemade curries and things like that. So at noon, I am walking whoever is playing along how to cook pad Thai and chicken satay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be wonderful. It's actually really good. So hopefully there'll be a lot of people actually cooking with me, not just watching. And then we'll see how that goes. But then later on today, if we hit that number, I'm going to have to come back to the kitchen, and I got the dough already made. I got the sauce already made.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like there's other things I would want to see you eat.
Yeah, for $25K. See, Shane, she's smart. Smart. You got to have more torture for $25K.
Goldfish. No, that's me.
Goldfish.
I meant the live
Please
one.
don't
not the
give them
chat.
any ideas. Don't give them
We
ideas.
definitely want more ideas.
No. Let's stop. So, Michelle, I know you're like the timing is you're heading out soon, but I'm
That's
trying
okay. I'm happy to talk about predators anytime. They're my favorite
Yeah.
people to hate.
to.
Well,
But
you gotta hate them, gotta get rid of them. So you got to spend your life, dedicated to
you
that.
got to
mission.
talk about them. Yeah, no, but I just so excited to have you part of ILF. I mean, um, I think everyone on the board's excited, and you came on, and then we just had so much happening. We haven't had a lot of chance just to sit and talk, and
Well,
so
the thing
now we're
is
doing it
that
in front of thousands of people.
predators, child predators aren't going anywhere. They've been around for
Yeah.
a long time, and now they have all this, internet. Now they have social media. Now they have the platform to really behave even worse. That I think your foundation is so timely and so important. And and who doesn't want to help a child, right?
Yeah. That's an interesting statement because when I started this, one of the things that really kind of was odd is there's a lot of organizations, a lot of nonprofits that focus on crimes against children, but there's not many that focus on the predator. So the actual the side of the people who prey on kids. There's a lot who focus on the kids, saving the kids in essence, but not stopping the predators. So when I was starting this, I thought, well, this is so different. I wonder if it's going to actually resonate with people. I'm wondering if it's actually going to happen because the people will see it, because there's a lot of people want to maybe give money to actually save the child, but what they're doing here is they're helping us stop bad people from hurting kids.
I think you're onto something, because as a human race, we're punitive in nature. It
Mhm.
does give us satisfaction to kind of close the loop and to bring the predator down. So I think having that approach, of course, you want to help the child, but to be able to prevent the predator, to catch the predator, to punish the predator, I mean, for better or for worse, it really speaks to our impulses as humans.
Yeah, and that's a more intelligent way of putting it than I would have. But I think that what you said is 100% true, and that's where people are. Why this organization has resonated with a lot of folks in different industries is because it's great to save the kids once they've been hurt and they're out of the situation. But if we could stop the bad guys from actually hurting them, then we save so many more kids. I think, Shane, I don't know if you're still here, if you're working on something, but you had some stats you gave in a speech once. What was it that a serial predator will often, and how many kids will they affect over there?
So that is a stat from the last study we could find, and that study happened 25 years ago. So it's old information, but a serial predator will affect up to 400 children for every single serial predator. And that's before they had the tools of the internet for them to be able to reach out. I mean, last year there was a guy that was arrested, and I think they said he had over 60 years of child sexual abuse material in his possession, meaning that if he sat down 24 hours a day and just started with everything he had, it would take him 60 years to get through it. So how many children are we affecting when we have one guy turned over and he gets taken off the streets? But there's no actual way to quantify it. So we would love to see more studies so we could get that message out even further.
Yeah, it's wonderful to be able to count the survivors before anything's ever happened to them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's truly helping.
Yeah, it is, and it's a staggering, sickening statistic, but it's also part of our motivation to stop it. To put these people away, so that way you can maybe save hundreds of kids from potential damage. And sadly, like anything, like any crime, one of those images are out there. They're out there forever, right? So it's yeah. So I think this is going to be a great day to bring awareness today. ILFest. We decided. I don't know, how did the ILFest name come about, Shane?
So we were struggling trying to come up with something, and so just out of the blue, I said, "Hey, let's call it ILF Festivus," from Seinfeld. And so I looked it up real fast, and Festivus is actually an anti-Christmas celebration. So that would go against our neutrality policy that we hold to so strictly. And so I said, okay, well, why don't we just call it ILF Fest? And then all the great people in our marketing and education and outreach said it has to be ILFest because it runs together, it looks better. And so that's the origin of how it came about.
It's a great name. It's a great name. Hang on, I'm looking for the schedule. Somebody was asking questions. So where's the ILF? There it is.
If you do
Okay.
exclamation ILFest in chat, that pulls up the schedule too for everybody.
What? Okay, look at this organization, guys.
Tech, man.
But just to kind of go over it while we're all together. So in about 10 minutes, we're going to move over to my kitchen and I'm going to start cooking Thai food with whoever's cooking along. So hopefully there'll be at least some of you doing that.
Hey, Fizzy Star, we did discuss Shankfest, but we thought maybe it would have some negative.
Yeah, I mean, Shankfest,
So, you know.
I voted for it, but my votes don't seem to matter anymore in this company. So, you know, but whatever. Okay, so we're doing cooking in about 10, 15 minutes the most. Then we have Zoe Zillman from Trace Labs, but now with ILF, and Chris Roberts coming in. That's going to be fun. I mean, anyone who knows Chris Roberts, it should just be, and he's got to keep it PG-13. So I don't know like that if he can even do that.
Is he going to show up topless too?
He don't
go there.
Yeah, please don't tempt it because he may. So let's just describe so you can get a mental picture. Let's try to describe Chris Roberts for you. The dude towers at about 6'5". Very large build because he was part of the he's a Scotsman. He was part of the Scottish Olympics, and his particular thing was where those guys who throw telephone poles over, you know, up in the air. Like, I'm not kidding. Like a tree the size of a telephone pole, and they pick it up and they throw it. That was his event.
Oh.
That was his sport that he mastered and was winning at, and now he's a hacker. Don't ask it.
If it doesn't break, I hack it. Like, how does that even?
Oh, in essence, yes. He got a lot of trouble for hacking a plane while he was on it and things like that. So it's just some things that he's coming on. That will be interesting. Then I don't know why we invited Dave Kennedy on, because that's just going to be an hour of me getting pranked nonstop. Shane wanted to see me cry. Then AJ Cook is coming on. Mandy, one of our volunteers, she works with CBS, and she did this amazing thing. She got these all access passes from CBS, which I guess you can't buy. You have to somehow win them or get them gifted. They're like 30-year licenses for this thing. And she got 2 of them given to us as a gift to raffle off. And AJ Cook, since her show Criminal Minds was on that network, she's going to come on and chat with us about her show and raffle those things off. Then we're
Chris,
playing, yeah.
Are we going to get to do question and answer with AJ? Are we going to get to take questions from the audience?
She's with us for an hour, I think. So
good. That'll be fun.
So we should, yeah. I was trying to avoid it with some because I was afraid the questions we might get for people like Michelle or AJ.
Well, we'll just have to, just keep throwing that PG-13 reminder out there, and
If you have any questions for Michelle, you can think of them now, and then when we're done with this, we'll go over them in the last 5 minutes we have with her. Then I guess we're playing some games, some really fun online games that are family fun and clean, I hope and think. And then Neil comes on, Neil Fallon, and we're playing Rocket League, which is just going to be a mess. It's going to be.
It's going to be horrible.
It's going to be just awful. I don't know how to video game. I barely know how to use a computer, so I don't know. And then Neil's playing a small show. He's going to play 2 Clutch songs and 1 original song that no one's ever heard, ever. Wow. And we have some announcements about upcoming shows from Clutch. And then we're auctioning off a shirt that he wore in Quick Death in Texas. Not auctioning, raffling.
Yeah, it's a raffle. That means every single person here has an opportunity.
It's a raffle, not an auction. I keep saying auction because I want you all to think you have no hope, because I'm winning that shirt.
Quick updates from us. We're at 65:59 in a little under an hour, which is pretty good. And just for the chat, we are so the issue that we have noticed is that the bucks are not tracking, and the reason I believe is because I pointed my donation tracker to ILF. So ILF is actually earning those loyalty points, or that channel would be earning it, not us. So we're going to go retroactively add all the bucks today I guess that logic skipped my mind when we were doing this. But don't worry, you'll have your bucks. You'll be able to enter raffles here shortly. When Chris is cooking, you're going to see us entering in points for everybody. So that's all I got.
Oh,
back
so
for you
your
guys.
accounting skills didn't come into play there, did they, Heath?
My logic skills failed is what happened. I didn't think of the relay there.
So Michelle, Heath was an accountant, now a hacker.
Oh God, that's the most dangerous person on the planet.
I really believe that may be the most dangerous person on the planet.
I mean, I feel like they could forgive all of our student debts. I mean, there's a lot of things you could, if you understand numbers and hacking.
I didn't think
Come on,
about
Heath.
that.
There's
I
people
didn't
who
think about
really
that
need
either.
it.
Why did I pay my student debt off?
Yeah, Heath. I mean, see, we
What have
needed
you guys
someone
been
with a
doing?
criminal mind.
Yeah.
We needed someone with a criminal mind to
Yeah.
figure this out. Michelle, where have you been our whole life?
Well, evidently, I'm kind of not, I'm right there with you because I paid off my own student debts too. But you know what? Let's save the next generation.
That's great. Oh man. So, let's see. I'm just looking through this list to see if everyone's talking about pizza and the fact that you like pineapple pizza, which is sad.
I'm so sorry about that. I can't lie though.
It hurts, you know. It hurts, Michelle.
I mean, listen, you're going to like it after today too.
I'm not even. Let's just make believe it tastes okay. I still can't like it as a personal moral thing.
Have you
Again-
tried it?
No, it's not. No,
Oh, okay. Let's talk about, well, what if you'd never tried chocolate? Because like your Italian relatives didn't want you to.
That's different.
Open-minded.
Listen, I've eaten snake, I've eaten scorpions, I've eaten ants, I've eaten all sorts of things. I'm open-minded. Pineapple on pizza doesn't belong.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
it's going to belong today at this rate. So that's all I got to say about that. And Michelle, don't believe him. We love you even more now, and we are thrilled you're with us.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And I mean, I did, listen, my relatives are from Denmark. So I started eating pickled herring on pumpernickel and with bacon fat when I was probably 18 months old. So really, you can't scare me with pineapple. Pretty nasty cuisine. The Danes.
People are now voting for you to abolish student debt. So thanks, Michelle,
Right.
for that. Thanks.
Yes, I feel like I can do that with Heath's help.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you and Heath now are committed, according to our chat channel, to abolish student debt.
That's our 2020 campaign platform.
I
Yeah.
mean, we might get more traction with helping children, but we can always have a second platform.
Yeah. Right, now you have people also saying they like pickled herring on pumpernickel with bacon fat.
Oh,
You have fans,
I have
multiple
brethren
Multiple-
out there, people who had. So in World War II, according to my grandmother, the Germans took all the butter. So they would resort to using, the runoff from making bacon and ham and whatever else, and they would store it in these clay jars and use it instead of butter.
Really?
And yes, and evidently that habit didn't leave my grandmother. So instead of, oh God, I can't even believe I'm admitting this, but instead of butter, that's what we cooked with. That's what we used. It's just bacon. It's called fit.
I mean, that makes sense. I'm just thinking but you would spread it on the bread as butter and then put pickled herring?
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people here who are they're saying they love it. They're like, this is
Oh,
great.
I love them. Yay. I have people out there. I feel like I'm talking to communicating with other planets because I don't know anybody.
they do. They're like, yeah, and this one guy's like, yeah, everything pickled is good for your gut. It's tasty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you,
have.
Mama.
Here's a guy saying, yes, bacon lard on bread is amazing.
Yep. Who knew? Why don't you eat some of that today?
You have I don't have any bacon lard. You have all of these fans now that love your pickled herring.
This is
Look
the
at this
best thing.
guy.
No one wants to talk about the creepy murderers I spend time with. They want to talk about pickled herring. I like these people.
Yeah. This guy
Give
like
the
herring.
people what they want.
This guy says herring is great. You eat it raw with onion.
Yes, sometimes even fried onion. You can do the raw onion chopped up, or you can even put fried onion on it. I mean, that might be sacrilegious, but that's what we do.
Fried onion. What do you think? Who said that about the onion? I'm trying to look. Fin mud onion. Good. Yes or no?
I mean, I like the onion.
Huh. This one guy says bacon or butter is a waste of time. Bacon fat is the best way to go.
Who knew? Where do these people live?
Where do you guys all live? Do you want to admit that here? I mean, just country. You don't have to give your address. Wait, this is great. Some guy said, wait, everyone doesn't just collect the bacon fat in a jar next to their stove to cook with? Yeah.
Your guests are funnier than we are.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
turn it over to them.
Pickled anything except
Oh.
for pickles themselves. I love them. Cucumbers are
Vegas,
disgusting.
Honolulu, Switzerland, UK, Northern California, Tennessee.
Wisconsin,
We got people from everywhere coming in here.
Colorado, saying yes, bacon lard's the best thing. Tennessee loves bacon lard.
I love them.
Yeah, this is great.
I'm going to bring it back.
April says, I was fine talking about murderers, but as a vegetarian, I'm going to be sick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, you know what, April? That's what you get for donating $2,500 towards pineapple pizza. So, think of that. Yeah.
Good for her.
This one guy says we should rename this to Fat Fest 2020. Ireland, Virginia, Florida, Portugal, Texas, Pennsylvania.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was that last state you just said?
Florida.
What?
I'm from New York. I can't say. I'm from New York. I can't say Florida. It's the way it comes. She picked up on that fast.
We're just numb to it by now. That's all.
I'm sorry. I just can't let it get away. I can't let you get away with that.
I know, and I can't. Florida.
There's an R in there somewhere.
I can't say it. I can't. Florida.
You did it.
I did it. I can be taught. Bacon makes everything better.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
What is this? One guy said, "Go mowing your lawn is vegetarian murder." I'm sorry, April, but that's funny. That's funny.
There could be a crime show on how we murder vegetables.
Oh man, now people are making fun of me. Florida.
Oh,
it's not Florida, okay? It's just Florida. I can't help it. It's Florida.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. No, look, I'm from Normandy, and I can tell you that in my hometown, there's a lot of butter in the underground economy. You can't prevent Normans from cooking with butter. Now someone's saying I should go fry pineapple in bacon grease.
Okay, you might enjoy that.
I like pineapple, just not on pizza.
Hey, I've got an actual legitimate question that came through here, and it's for Michelle.
Is it math? I don't like math right now.
It's not math. It's not math, and it's a question about something you said earlier. It says, you said that those with psychopathic tendencies can be diverted into behaviors that were, quote, good for society as opposed to bad, but you also said they were incapable of empathy.
That's right.
Is that something that cannot be learned?
That's an excellent question. Yes, or no, it cannot. Yes, you are right. No, it cannot be learned, unfortunately. So it's like teaching somebody the alphabet. You have to teach them how to behave with other people, how to, even if they can't experience the empathy, how to still not hurt, to find another way to show them and teach them not to behave that way, because talking to them about feelings and gut reactions isn't going to work. They literally, if you talk to a child psychopath and you explain to them why they should feel bad for killing an animal or hurting their neighbor or their sister, they look at you like you're from another planet. They cannot understand what you mean. So you have to find other ways to make it appealing to them to behave in pro-social manners. But that's a great question. You cannot learn it. You cannot fix the amygdala that way.
Really?
Yeah. You can actually measure this in utero. There's parts of the amygdala that are
no.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Wait, you can see amygdala damage in
not damage. You see it not forming. There's a wall that gets measured, and you can see it. It's malformation in a certain period in utero. But you don't want to go around saying that all the time, because then people are going to be asking to learn that. But there are
but I just wonder why that's not one of those tests that people get before their kids are born. You would hate for a doctor to come in and say your child's going to be a murderer, but wouldn't it be interesting if they would at least say, hey, your child's amygdala is not forming properly, we may have to watch for behavior.
Antisocial behavior. But you have to remember, these risk-taking, lack of remorse, guilt, empathy type of people also run our countries, because they can separate their actions from their emotions because they don't have them. So we kind of need them. We just need them nudged, trained, pushed into the right direction.
Yeah.
And also give them some bacon fat.
It's true. I mean, people are now saying, I got to say something. Forget about it, huh? Forget about it.
Yeah. Also, bacon on maple donuts. Anyone?
Yes. Oh, yes. Heck yes.
Mm.
The best way to make a donut better is by putting bacon on it.
Yes. I feel
Yeah.
like that is
Yeah.
revealing too much.
Okay, everyone who's asking, in 2 minutes, Michelle was kind enough to come in early. We forced her into more than a half an hour before she gets to go have fun for the weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle.
Well, it was my pleasure. This is exciting because I can't see the audience, so I'm not nervous.
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
fun.
I can't see them either, but we have this other window that has a chat in it, and I can see what they're saying and asking questions, so I can kind of see if someone's directing something towards us, which helps us now have a conversation of sorts.
Well, thank you guys so much for including me, and thank you for your patrons for liking bacon fat. I feel like I'm not alone on this planet anymore.
No, you're not. They're all now saying yes. Bacon on maple donuts is the best. You have a lot of fans now with the bacon and the maple and the herring thing.
See, this whole time I didn't have to do True Crime TV. I could have just done a cooking show or something like that.
You could have gone on and just showed how to make Finnish food, and they would have loved it.
Or Danish.
Danish,
All
Danish.
right, you guys
Yes.
have fun.
Wow. Woo.
It's okay. I'm going to talk to you about that pineapple business later.
Thanks.
Okay, bye guys.
Thanks, Michelle. Be safe.
See ya. Thank you.